All right, break a leg.
Um, get are you gonna introduce or should I just start talking?
Yeah. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to our next chapter in the Cancel Rent Fest. Today is a special day. We have an amazing human being and thinker and doer who has this wonderful methodology that she is going to share with us today called collective songwriting. Her name is Vaneza Calderon. And so let me hand it over to Vanessa. You can introduce yourself and then explain what we're going to do today.
All right. Thank you so very much, Quetzal. Thank you to everybody who's working behind the scenes to make this all happen. As Quetzal said, what we're going to do today is we're going to write a song. What is a song? So this is kind of experimental in the sense that I haven't used this formula in front of a computer screen. I'm used to being in a room with anywhere from 4 to 20 to maybe 30 people. This method has worked at where we've worked within the community with the youth and also throughout the country. I've gone to Alabama, Mississippi, just, utilizing this form because music is literally universal. It's a language within itself. Yeah, we have English, we have Spanish, but we can utilize different ways of playing our chords, our rhythms, using Spanglish here and there to tell the story and to make the story our own. So first disclaimer of this session today, I really, really thank everybody for your participation. And don't think that you just get to stand behind your screen and just watch, whatever is being presented to you. No, this is a collective effort. Okay, so we're going to utilize the tools at hand. We have the chat box here in the Zoom, and that's going to be the main, tool that we can use to get our point across, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to write a song as a group. Right now I see 2, 4, 5 of us in the group. Will I be seeing more people jumping in via video Zoom? ¿Qué tal, ayuda? Hopefully. Well, hopefully that's the idea. That's the idea.
I saw somebody else join for a second and then they disappeared. But yes, you might have other people jumping in the middle of the session.
All right. Yeah. If I see you, awesome. If I don't, I just want to see your words. So please utilize that chat box to the right of your screen and make sure that everybody can see what you're posting, okay? Because as I said, this is a collective effort. So the way that we start this program is we are going to create a brainstorming box with phrases, ideas, sentences, keywords, whatever comes out of us, okay? So with that, we need to create in our head the story that we want to tell. I'm a folk musician. I play mariachi music. I play all the songs that my grandparents would sing, my parents sing, and luckily peers. I get people who go watch and request a certain song. Can you play the song that Jose Alfredo Jimenez wrote? And if you don't know who that is, look him up. He's one of Mexico's most important songwriters. And he wrote not only about love, about heartbreak, he wrote about his city. He wrote about his state. He wrote about, Mexico in itself, and also using metaphors, writing a story about, talking about a trip that this white horse made from the inside of the Mexican Republic, and crossing the border. Well, he didn't hit the border yet, but going up north and then coming back to the other side to Baja California. So this song, he named it El Corrido del Caballo Blanco. A corrido is basically a storytelling song, literally a story. Beginning, middle details, you got a moral of the story, and then you got an end to get out. So the Corrido del Caballo Blanco, written by Jose Alfredo, is actually a song about his car. They say it's about his Ford Bronco, not Bronco, but his Mustang, right? Is that true? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that he told his story and people really liked it. So as we all know, that's what a song is, and that's what we're trying to do today. The topic at hand is Cancel Rent Fest, right? So everybody has a story. Everybody has their own way of explaining, and we're gonna utilize this virtual realm to make this all happen. I'm just the glue, but you all are the actual meat and the, what do you call it, meat and potatoes or whatever of the story, okay? So I need everybody to participate in your own way. If you've got a pencil and paper, notepad, even better. Get doodling, maybe that'll inspire some notes. For now, instead of writing on a poster board, which is what we usually do in person, we've got technology is our friend, and I have a working Google Doc that we will be working off of. So I'm going to, let's see, how can I do this? Do I have any keywords from you all, from your stories? How does cancel rent apply to you in your life, in your community, your family, everybody? Everybody is going through one, or, you know, one, we're all going through this collective situation, right? But it's not going to affect us the same way. As a musician, all my work for 2 months canceled in half an hour, where I have some friends who are still working from their home, you know, not to say that they're not affected by this whole COVID-19 experience. They are in their own way. So it's not right. There's nothing that's right. There's nothing that's wrong. It's just what there is right now, right? So let's all kind of maybe collaboratively write a song that tells the story that we're each living. And the most important part of our song is we're going to utilize music to get out what are our needs, what are our wants, our requests, and just, you know, have a conversation upon that. So do I have anybody giving me any keywords or any
Struggle.
needs? Struggle, awesome. Let me see, I'm gonna share my screen.
Hope.
Struggle, hope.
That's the baby's name too.
Oh, hi, Hope. Awesome. I'm gonna put Esperanza too, because we are bilingual in this house, and so we're gonna speak Spanglish because eso es lo que sale, right? Es lo que nos nace. That's what comes from my essence, at least. Anybody else have any special words, keywords? Let me see. Probably not the easiest word to rhyme with. Which one was that? Hope?
Struggle.
Or penance? Struggle. Struggle. We can also, you know, lucha. We got some words. All right. We'll keep growing on that, and hopefully as people add on to participate, we can keep that word bank going. I'm gonna actually start adding some more. Struggle or lucha. We got hope, esperanza. The screen isn't sharing anymore. Okay.
I'm going to say anxiety also.
That's real.
Pressure.
Anxiety, pressure. I'm gonna put insert. Go ahead.
Say homeland, since I've been thinking about that a lot.
Did I spell that wrong? I'm sorry. Can you repeat your word?
Homeland.
Homeland.
I was thinking of the sayings, the juxtaposition of pressure bursts pipes, but steel sharpens steel. How sometimes it can make us weaker and destroy us, but other times the stress can make us stronger.
Yeah. So can you repeat that saying, please?
One is pressure burst pipes and the other is steel sharpens steel.
Oh my gosh. I cannot write. Burst.
Yep.
There we go. Dicho or saying, right? I'm gonna go on the familiar side also and say something like what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right?
Right.
Same thing.
Same thing.
It's already there. Okay. All right. Let's think about music. Can anybody share what's the role that music plays in your life?
Music is usually like the soundtrack to my life. Like it's always relevant and speaks to me during whatever moment or time. In particular, there was this one song by, I'm forgetting his name, but he was in the Hamilton play, and Anthony Ramos. Yeah, Anthony Ramos. Oh. It's a song that he has called "Figure It Out," and it's like all alone on my phone in my bedroom. And what I like most about this song was that it's about going through a depression, but how he like pushes himself out of it, right? And so listening to that was just like really relevant for what I was going through, but it also encouraged me to like, that I didn't have to stay stuck.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you go to a doctor, you say, I have such what do you call those symptoms, and then they're like, oh, let me write you a prescription, and then the remedy, right? So I feel like music is exactly that same process without seeing anybody else. And like artists, I know Quetzal and Cesar, they write so much, and put out all these songs for, on their labels independently. One song, you never know how many people it's gonna touch, You think like, oh, this is my story, I'm just gonna share it. But there are so many other people who are living the same thing. So I love it. Yeah, music is the soundtrack of my life. Anybody else? Can I get some more? Music is?
Music to me, it bond. This has been a common thing this week, and I think it's because I just got so much exposure to Latinx culture this week. And I'm from Chicago. Growing up in Chicago, my neighborhood was so diverse. Like we had everybody and everything from everywhere. And then to be in Atlanta, where it's so not diverse, and I have like one Puerto Rican friend and one Nicaraguan friend, and that's it. And whereas growing up, I had Cuban friends, Mexican friends, Guatemalan friends from everywhere. And so I just missed that. And I think that's what music brings, like seeing the Quetzal family trio and yourself, Maya Jupiter, just like, man, I miss the diversity of music. It brings us together. It's so bonding.
All right, let's break down that music. Like talking about rhythms and like chord structure. Do we want to write our story to sound a little like we can utilize sounds and chords to give an emotion? You know, it's just like in mariachi music, you'll hear a song and it's like, you know, it's nice and slow and it's in a minor and you're like, ooh, like something eerie is going on, you know, unsettling, right? But then we go to major and it's like, okay, there's the sun, there's you know, the happiness at the end, right? So our struggle right now, how do we want to incorporate that? How do we want to talk about our struggle? And also rhythmically. So as a folk musician, I work around some pretty standard types of rhythms. But maybe we can kind of figure out, once we get more like lyrics and form to what we want to say, what kind of rhythm we would want to work out. In the community, I love writing, well, what I do is we write corridos. So again, it's a storytelling song, usually in a 3/4, you know, value, or like a polka. So again, going back to the corrido, it's very structured. So we're gonna start writing some stuff. Let me see. I'm looking back at the chat box. Okay. So music is my home. Música es mi hogar, right? Connection to my homeland. Brought that back up. We have homeland in our. I'm gonna name this word bank. Okay. And let's see. We just saying music. This is always the hardest part, getting ready to start writing some lines, right? And thinking about music is the life force that binds family, community. Heck yes. Yeah. I want to take a little of the corrido example or form, and I want our song to start talking about who we are. Okay, so we're going to talk about who we are, what we're going through, what we need, what we have to share to our community. And then we're gonna create a positive solution, quote unquote. Okay, so and with that, what we need to do, and then like a goodbye or moral or goodbye. And I think like moral would be like further steps. I spelled that wrong. Okay, so our verses are gonna hit on that. And then we're gonna write chorus. Okay. So under verses, this is what we want to accomplish. Who we are, what we're going through, what we need, what we have to share to our with our community. Chorus, we're gonna find a positive solution, aka what we need to do. And then we'll have another verse talking about the moral of the story. We're not going through this. I've seen online, it's like, if we're going through what we're going through, our lockdowns, our losses, you know, house, like we're losing people literally. Like we don't want to go back to how things were per se. We want to keep moving, you know. We have people living on the streets, you know, and we don't want to, okay, we're going to put you up somewhere so that you're safe. Okay, so then what, after all this blows over, what's going to happen, you know? So we have to, the moral of the story, further steps, that's kind of what I'd like to incorporate in the song. Is like, okay, stuff's not working. Let's see how this is going to work for the long term, right? Cool. Anybody else have any ideas on the verses and what we would like to talk about in the song?
Leslie.
Nobody. Okay.
So we have some new people on the line too. Just wanted to let you know, Vanessa.
Okay, thank you. So for everybody joining us, we are gonna try to write a song in the next hour and a half-ish, collectively. Looks good to me. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so collectively, this is everybody's participating, whether you're at home making your own notes on your notebooks or even in your notepad, on your screen. Doesn't matter. Everybody's writing something. And the whole moral of the story is not to create a song that's going to go and get us, you know, any kind of recognition per se. The moral of the story is for us collectively to have this conversation as we've been having. We have shared what music means to us, the soundtrack of our lives, it bonds. Oh, we didn't finish that. Ebony, was that you?
The bonds, yeah, I did. I was just thinking, I guess, like intersection, you know, the bonds of, I don't know, you know, using cultural differences to bring us together instead of divide.
Yeah. Cool. Oh my gosh, you guys are too funny. I mean, if you want to throw a Grammy in there, all right.
What if?
Right? For real. Okay. Soundtrack of my life. So I don't want to like generalize and say music and songs are just a plug and play, but in this collective effort, I think it really is, you know, because we're trying to create one story, one voice together. So that's the goal, right? What does that make you feel? The guitar playing. Anybody?
Like
Life,
move.
right?
Damn.
Yeah.
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 Life. Okay. Doesn't matter. So I'm gonna utilize this kind of like cumbia rhythm, okay? Who we are. Who are we? We already said in our key bank, in our word bank, we are, who are we, y'all? We haven't even said who we are. We've talked about what we experience and what we have, but who are we?
Activists, artists.
La esperanza, where the hope.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that Samir saying that we are the hope, we are the struggle.
Sorry, time out. It's like when you're when you're jumping rope and stuff. It's like, let me get in there. Hold on. We're the hope of our. We're the hope of our. What are we the hope of?
A lot of people.
Louder.
A lot of people.
Oh my gosh! Who is that over there? Is that the one and only Mesli? Oh, and I see Victoria too. Hi, gang. There you go. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, I just have to take a pause to say hello and to introduce two of my favorite collaborators. We have Mesli and Victoria, and we actually wrote a cumbia not too long ago also. So I'm super excited to have you all on board because, yeah, we're in this to win it. Okay, so we're the hope of our people, right? That makes sense. Energetic, yeah. The cumbia rhythm is meant to be energetic. Okay. We're the hope of our people. How about la esperanza del pueblo? It's pretty much the same thing, right? It means, yeah, it literally means the same thing.
Yeah.
We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo. We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo. Something like that. And then for the artists or instrumentalists at home, we're gonna do this. We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo. Who we are, right? We're gonna hang on that E7 and we're gonna talk about what else can we say about, go ahead. What else can we say about what we're going through?
What are you going through right now?
A lot of stuff.
What do we do as people?
We eat.
We eat. Yeah?
We do. We feed each
Okay.
other, take care of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
In Spanish, we would say nos cuidamos, so take care of each other. Watching over, caring for. How about caring? We're the home of our people, la esperanza del pueblo. Caring for one another. And then let's kind of think about a little rhyme scheme. So we're gonna do 4 lines, right? And we're gonna have people, pueblo. Okay, those 2 rhyme together. One another, that'll be like a separate rhyme. And then let's have our 4th line rhyme with pueblo, with our first 2 lines, okay? So what can we utilize? What words that we have already, our word bank and ideas, right? This next line is gonna tie in what we do as people for each other. And it's gonna end with like something that sounds like people or pueblo, okay? So it's a lot of repetition when I do this, just so that we all go back and we're getting 1, familiarized with the melody in itself,
Okay.
and 2, it like propels us.
It's pink and
What happened?
nothing.
Okay. All right. With the hope of our people. Oh my gosh, I lost it. We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another. Maybe I'll go back to the A there. We're the hope. Okay. We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo. We're the hope of our people. I lost it already. Can somebody sing back what I was doing?
We're the hope of the people. La esperanza
Heck yes.
del pueblo.
Great job. Thank you. Thank you. We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another.
Something through the struggle.
Caring.
Seems like something through the struggle.
Awesome. Yeah. So, struggle. Now I got it on the home. Okay. Esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another.
What if we say caring for one another beyond recovery?
Toledo, eso no rima.
He said that does not rhyme.
Okay, so the idea is there. Now let's utilize our word bank and, the little, to make the gears work in our head to kind of make that happen. So let's see, how do we do this? That's my chord. This is our line to write. We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another. I'm just gonna do. Yeah, thank you. Together in the struggle, right? All right. Let's see. There's no right answers, no wrong. It is just what it is again, okay? We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another, together in this struggle. Kind of rhymes, eh?
It did.
Questions, comments, complaints.
It's more of, I see what you did there. You put an emphasis on together because another and together kind of have a bit of a rhyme. So it's like, it's kind of an internal rhyme scheme.
Yeah. And again, this is kind of just placeholders. If we come up as we move through. Yeah. Was somebody singing something there?
No, I like the melody that you did at the beginning, so I wasn't singing it.
Yes. Okay. Can I copy paste? Let's see.
You can, yes.
Want to talk about democracy and decisions? Yeah. Decisions. People. Okay. So, yeah. And we're doing things with love, right? Lobe. Okay. So we are the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another together in the struggle. Let's sing it through. We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another together in this struggle. Let's go let's try to do another little verse. So somebody made the suggestion to talk about democracy and decisions by the people together, okay? So we're the hope of the people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another together in this struggle. Let's see, what is this struggle?
Human rights, housing rights, immigrant rights, anti-capitalism.
Yeah. So let's talk about what it is we struggle with, okay? So is there one word that we can use to summarize all of these things that we go through? Oh, okay. That's a good, yeah, that's a good point to put that with what we need. So again, is there one word? Well, I guess it would be like needs, right? So let's see, how do we do this?
So to Chris's point, Chris is saying, I think struggle is kind of about whether we own the means of production. I would say,
Okay.
another way to say that is like community control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that would be probably the closest thing.
Community control.
Self-governance.
I would say that the struggle is the like the lack of power that we possess. Well, we have power, right? But those that are in positions, like in these like positions of power, impress upon us their interest and selfish desires.
Let's see. How do we start our next? Community control. Let's see. Let's start this next verse in Spanish. La comunidad merece. I agree. Some things just sound better in Spanish. That's a lot of syllables. Okay.
Can we just name like what those basic things are that everybody should have without interruption, without having to do anything else, but like, okay, there's some very basic things that everyone needs to have, and they're going to be provided with that.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, these things are not on the table for like any funny stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Food, clothes, shelter.
Food.
Water.
Yeah.
Water. House. Clean air.
Okay, la comunidad merece tener, and yeah, let's like label it all out, right? La comunidad merece tener We said albergue, comida. And then let's see if this rolls off the tongue. Let's go from the top. We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another, together in the struggle. La comunidad merece tener. La comunidad merece. Wow. The only thing with Spanish is that it's a little wordy.
Puedes bajar tener y then tener albergue y comida.
We're there, Cesar, we're there. Merece tener.
Ok. Ahora, si le quitaras el
Go ahead.
tener, ya con merece, puede que se entienda. La comunidad merece albergue, comida. So, if you remove the verb, it's still, you understand what the...
Yeah. Okay, so albergue means housing, right? Comida means food. And then let's throw in a word in English to kind of keep the basic necessities going. Does that make sense? So, la comunidad merece albergue, comida. And then our third line. How do we say, like, the basic necessities that shouldn't even be questioned? La comunidad merece albergue, comida.
I like the clean
Basic.
air that Ebony said. Clean air.
Clean air.
I cannot spell. La comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air, to fill our lungs with hope, to fill our lungs with health, to fill our lungs with esperanza, you know?
I like that.
La comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs. And then something, let's get this fourth line to rhyme with merece, which means to deserve, right? So la comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs. Let's go back to our word. Let me see. I'm trying to think of how I can put the pages right next to each other, but I can't. I'm technically challenged. Technically. A ver. So we have hope, we have esperanza. What's the the opposite of these words? What's the opposite of anxiety?
Calm. Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't know.
Resolute.
What was that? This is what it's all about. This whole collective songwriting again is about these conversations where one person starts saying one thing and someone's like, actually, no. That's what's building the conversation, right? So what somebody was gonna jump in right now.
Serenity.
Serenity. Okay. Serenity.
That's the
Okay.
opposite
Remember.
of anxiety.
Clean air to fill our lungs, and the serenity.
With verses?
And the serenity through verses.
Que ya, ahí el mismo.
Let's see. Let's go back.
Maybe flip it.
Pardon?
I was saying maybe flip it. Did he say verses? Like VER?
I just
SES?
yeah, like through the verses, like through this song, you know. But maybe that doesn't maybe necessarily have to fit there. Let me sing the top of that verse, and then we'll see how we can push them. Why did I get lost? La comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs, and the serenity.
I was thinking serenity would go at the end. So like, what are we filling our lungs with? Oh, okay. The lungs is being filled with clean air. Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah. No, that's a good.
I thought we were.
So the last word I want.
Sorry, I was saying I thought we were gonna say like we can fill our lungs with serenity, something like that.
Clean air to fill our lungs. Yeah, and then I was just thinking of utilizing serenity as another. Like we got the clean air, now we deserve this other thing, which is the serenity. You know.
I agree.
So, and the serenity, and let's find a word that rhymes with merece. Or if we need to switch out serenity for something else at this point, we could do that too. So, la comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs, and the serenity. And you know what? Correct me if I'm wrong, Quetzal, but if we're going into, let's say, a chorus, we're going to try to create something that maybe isn't as wordy, but it's like the part that everybody always remembers. It's something that's catchy. You know what I mean? So I think, can we use a different ending to go into a coro so it doesn't have to rhyme with merece?
Of
What do you all
course.
think about that?
Yeah, second ending.
I agree.
And the serenity, what's that gonna do for us in our lives right now? What was that? I'm sorry.
What?
Okay, I have a feeling we're gonna end that verse right now. We're gonna go to the top. We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another, together in this struggle. La comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs, and the serenity. The serenity.
I think about the girls there and my two kids, and you want the serenity to raise your
Monitoreando aquí.
children.
Hasta las 8.
I'm sorry, Cesar, can you mute yourself, please?
Oh.
And go back to that. I'm sorry, was that Marta?
I think that was me, Ebony. I was
Oh, so sorry.
I was thinking about the girls who are there with their mom and the children who were taken from their parents at the border. And you just want the serenity to be able to raise your children. That's the one thing that we all have in common, yet these psycho capitalists don't give a darn about.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm just gonna try this. Let's see.
That was a lot.
La comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs, and the serenity to live in peace. I don't know. How does that work?
Meshley likes it.
Yeah, that's all that matters. All right. So let's try to create a little coro here, or chorus, right? Coro. I think we should utilize, again, we're talking about not using as many, I would say, like, if I'm going to tell a story, I'm going to use a lot of, words. But if I just give you the highlights and the key points of my demands, like, you understand that too, right? And it's a little more easier to remember. So the coro, let's go back to our word bank. What it is we want. So we already talked about anxiety. We got serenity down there. If you're not struggling, what do you have? What are you doing? So I said you can unmute now. Yeah, let's talk about it.
I'm laughing because it feels like we're always struggling.
Right.
Yeah.
What did you say, Mesli?
You're bored.
If you're not struggling, you're
bored.
bored.
I love her outlook. Okay. So we don't want to put bored in our coro. Let's keep thinking about words and what we would like to start our chorus with, right? So we did use hope. Did we use we have pressure.
We can
So what do we ask? I'm sorry, go ahead.
That if we're not struggling, then we could build.
If we're not struggling, then we can build.
My mom said that, not Mesli.
Yeah, she took my
It's
words.
collective. Could start with saying build. Okay. Build past or building?
No, sorry. When you read it, it reads together. But I was saying that it could start with the saying that one of them that we have, and then I was asking if the word that Marta said, Meshley, is built.
Mm-hmm. Yes, build. That is the word that you were using. Wait. Yeah, if you're not struggling, you can build. Let's start with, where did they go? Let's go over here. Cool. Pressure burst pipes. Steel sharpens steel. So this is one of the dichos, one of the sayings that we started our word bank with, for those who came in a little bit later. Pressure burst pipes. It's like also like, you know, like yeah, the whole diamonds and coals and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So pressure. Let's see. Let's go from here. Pressure burst pipes. Let's think about another way to say that. How do we say that? Anybody out there? Pressure builds pipes. How do we literally put this into our day? Like, can you give me an example of something in your life where, you know, literally you grew from it, you know? I'm sure we all grow during the day, every day, you know? Pressure burst pipes. Let's think of an example.
That sounds more like breaking down to me. Like pressure bursting pipe doesn't sound like a good thing. It sounds like, you know, working nonstop and not having a break and how that can take a toll on you. Is that being supposed to be a good thing?
And I think the other one is like the opposite. Like it's like both of those, like pressure burst pipes is when the pressure like makes you explode and you lose it. And the other saying is kind of the opposite, where the pressure makes you. What was the other saying?
Steel sharpens
steel. It's essentially like the pressure is kind of like diamonds, coal to diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I mean, I guess
yeah, and for me,
sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, just that like political pressure could get you know, a demand met or something like that, like placing pressure on politicians could get a bill passed or something. So it kind of like goes past the.
Yeah.
Back to the
totally.
cause.
Like for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, pressure burst pipe to me is like, okay, so maybe the pipe in itself was already not the good thing, you know? So if we lived our whole life in that pipe and we never had the pressure to break out of it, we would have just still, you know? So, let's see. Did we say basic needs yet? How about like something like basic needs shouldn't need to come from this pressure burst, these pipes burst from the pressure. Does that make sense? Like basic needs are basic. We have to have them. How is it that you don't understand that? So I'm just gonna write. That doesn't sound very musical, but let's see. La comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs, and the serenity to live in peace. Basic needs.
La común.
What happened? Basic needs. No. We already used the word struggle, so maybe let's not use that word there. Is there another word we could use for needs, or like what we deserve?
What about something like pressure politicians to fulfill our basic needs? I don't know.
How about if pressure is what it's gonna take, then we're gonna give it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like to make the change. This pressure. Something along those lines, you know, because we want to talk about like pressuring. Let's see. In the serenity to live in peace. How about kind of like going into like a call and response, you know, song in a way? Like if collectively, if we were doing this in real life, I would say the coro is going to be saying, some people are going to sing this part, and some people will sing the other part. So like, I'm going from here, from this second verse. La comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs, and the serenity to live in peace. We're ready. We're ready. Like sonically, I want to create some angst with this coro, because it's like we're talking to the politicians. Like, we're ready if pressure is what it takes. We're ready something else. We're ready something else. And then like, we got this. Something like that along the line. The serenity to live in peace. We're how do you all feel about that? Like kind of a call and response. We're ready. If pressure is what it takes, we're ready. Like maybe, why don't you learn from your mistakes? You know, I'm talking to the politicians.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
And the serenity to live in peace. We're trying to think musically, like chord wise.
We're ready.
Go for it.
For more mistakes, we're
I think she's saying what you wrote. It sounds like she's saying what you wrote.
Let's see. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Or if you feel more comfortable, type it into the chat box. And remember, there's no right or wrong answers. We modify, okay? We work with what we get.
In my head, it sounds like it goes more rhythmically or smoothly if you say, if like you sing after you say live in peace, you sing if pressure is what it takes, and then we say we're ready, let's learn from our mistakes, we're ready, like reversing it. To me, in my head,
Okay.
It sounds
Yeah.
like reverse.
Awesome. Let's see. So, and then switch this. Okay. And the serenity to live in peace. If precious.
I can't sing. If I could, I would sing it in the rhythm that I'm thinking, but I'm not gonna embarrass myself on YouTube live stream.
Just you know, we can all work through this. So
I hear the key or the chord, like whatever it is. I hear it getting higher in my head, and so that's why I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I wish I could
And
bring my
that's why
6-year-old in here.
Yes.
She could sing.
And the serenity to live in peace. If precious what it takes, we're ready. I don't know. Live in peace.
If we're gonna start, if pressure is what it takes, then you'll have to like say it really fast in order for it to like fit within the frame that you created.
Yeah. I think we can work the timing on that right now.
We're ready. Yeah, it goes super fast. If pressure's what it takes, we're ready.
If pressure, yeah, I'm thinking like if pressure's what it takes, and then have it kind of like maybe overlap in a way.
Yeah.
The serenity to live in peace. If pressure's what it takes. If pressure's what it takes, we're ready. If what it takes, we're ready. If okay. Ooh, look at that. So, and the serenity to live in peace. If pressure's what it takes, and then someone else would say, "We're ready." Okay, I can figure this out. We got this.
What's that last chord? I can't see it.
E7.
Live in peace.
We're gonna go to, and then we're gonna go back to the 1, to the A. If pressure's what it takes, we're ready. Listen from our mistakes, we're ready.
What if you went to the 6?
What part?
Right there. Instead of going to the 1, you go up to the 6.
So
from that E7 up to F sharp minor. Same melody. And pressure what it takes to live in peace.
The serenity to live in peace. If pressure's what it takes. The F sharp minor?
Yes.
Pressure's what it takes. Then back to the 5, right? If pressure's so to live in peace. If pressure's what it to live in peace. If pressure's what it takes, we're ready. Listen from our mistakes, we're ready. Something.
Yeah.
Something. Let's see. F hashtag with the little N. Okay. Okay. If pressure's what it takes, we're ready. Let's learn from our mistakes. So we're going to take that formula and take it back over here. Fun time. F sharp minor. Okay. Let's go from this second verse. La comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs, and the serenity to live in peace. If precious what it takes. Okay, I just have to do that quicker. Okay, this works. We're almost there. To live in peace. If precious what it takes, we're ready. Turn from our mistakes, we're ready. We're ready to, what are we ready for?
I think we should keep saying it. I mean, it's just like going in my head right now. I think we should just keep saying the something we're ready, something we're ready. Like it's the same way with pressure, like it's building up. So like if it pressures what it takes, we're ready. Let's learn from our mistakes. We're ready. Okay, what are we waiting for? Like you just said, like we said earlier, community control. We're ready, and start like running down this stuff. We ready to do.
I really like how it's, I don't know if I just want to like name off stuff and say we're ready, like, you know, plainly just saying.
I don't think everything, but I think community control has enough syllables maybe to go with it.
Yeah, how about we do like, we've got 2 lines, two ideas, right? And then this like kind of thing to tie it together, and then community control, and then it's time to rebuild. Awesome, like another 2. So let's go from to live in peace. If precious what it takes, we're ready. Listen from our mistakes, we're ready. We're ready to fight for you and me. Community control, we're ready. It's time to rebuild, we're ready. Let's see.
In my opinion, we should stay on the F sharp minor and E until the end. Whenever we decide, we just get out of that. So it builds up, because kind of the D and E7 break drops the energy, no? Because we're looking for energy right there.
Yeah, very good. Okay. So let's try to live in peace. It's to live in peace. If precious what it takes, we're ready. To step from our mistakes, we're ready. Okay. It's a little like wordy, like it's really like reggaeton if we want to try it, you know, or it's like spitting. Let's try it. Tell me how you feel about that, okay? So, to live in peace. If precious what it takes, we're ready. Let's learn from our mistakes, we're ready. Community control, we're ready. I kind of just wanted to throw the like we're ready to fight for you and me, like to kind of break it up, and then okay, it gives the listener a moment to kind of okay, that's what the point is. But then throwing back in this community control, it's kind of like it's not that easy. We're still going at you. Does that make sense?
It makes
So
sense.
that's the only reason why.
Could we do this other part? Like, can we put the community control, it's time to rebuild? Can we put that in another part of the song? Because I feel like it's just too much right now in this chorus.
I got you. I understand. Let's listen to it with that break to make the chorus double long, but it with like a little break on the inside, you know, in the middle. So, to live in peace. If precious what it takes, we're ready. Listen for our mistakes, we're ready. We're ready to fight for you and me. Community control, we're ready. Time to rebuild, we're ready. So, like, we didn't resolve here. We just kind of gave a little break, and then at the end of the chorus, like, we could resolve. For you and me. Community control. F sharp minor. And then to the E7. It's time to rebuild. F sharp minor. We're ready. So let's think about an idea how we're ready to fight for you and me. Something like that, that we're gonna end our chorus with down here, okay? So for purposes, let's go from the top. We haven't hit the top in a while, okay? And then so at home, again, it's a cumbia. You can dance. Bop that head, tap those toes. Let's get involved, right? Ready? We're the home of our people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another, together in the struggle. La comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs, and the serenity to live in peace. If such is what it takes, we're ready. So from our mistakes, we're ready. We're ready to fight for you and me. Community control, we're ready. It's time to rebuild, we're ready. What are we ready for, y'all? We've listed our demands. We've listed that, you know, we're ready, but how can we tie this all up?
We're ready for true democracy. That was me hitting the note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me see if there is you. Does anybody know how I can put like the pages next to each other?
I don't.
Hey, that one's really good too. We're ready to be free and we're ready for true democracy. Wow.
That's a good closing.
How show of hands. True democracy or ready to be free? Oh, I like the little thumbs up, but I still didn't. I still can't tell. Let's see. How about we do this? Let's keep that as a placeholder, and then when we come back to this coro, we'll add it at the end. We'll change it for the last time we go back. So we have exactly, maybe both. Okay, so we have 2 verses, right? We're calling this little guy four line section, 1 verse. We got another verse. Then we have this chorus. Yeah, it's too hard to choose. Good ideas. And then let's try to, in the next, 40 minutes we have left, let's try to create 2 more verses. Okay? This is hard to see. Okay. So we have, ay, Dios mío. File copy. Yeah. Sorry, we're working here. We're on a roll. All right. So we have our structure. Oh, thank you. Got it. Okay. We want our song to demonstrate action, right? In the sense that we have this story and it's kind of like, it's like Little Red Riding Hood, right? I don't really remember the whole fable, but basically we would, if we knew that the wolf was already the grandma in the beginning, like the same outcome, the outcome wouldn't be the same, right? We got to think kind of chronologically in a way. So with that, the coro kind of breaks down any type of like time or like chronologically speaking. I would say the coro is more like an insert, like oh hey, this can be heard at any time by itself. But our verses already are creating a story. We're talking about who we are and what we do, what we're doing together, what we deserve, right? And then so we had said that who we are, we got that done, check. What we're going through. Did we really talk about that in detail? No, we actually didn't talk about in detail the struggle, you know? So I think this verse can be used to talk about where we're all getting very like literal and like using keywords and stuff that's important to this movement at the moment. I think this is our spot. So I'm trying to, like somebody had said, talking about democracy and decisions by the people together. Like, let's talk about this struggle. Why? Because we don't get these spaces. We don't get these platforms, right? So let's talk about that. Anybody want to start off with what your struggle is? By myself. When you message.
Housing, clean water. I don't know what else.
Unemployment.
So my suggestion for the first line of this next verse is en tu casa tienes todo. Usually when people are thinking, they're like, what do I have? Oh, I have everything I need. I'm good. Nothing else exists. There's no conflict in the world. I'm good, right? So let's talk about en tu casa tienes todo. In your house, you have a lot, but me, like stop to think about me, you know, like start to think about your community, not just yourself. So en tu casa tienes todo. Techo, agua, y what? Techo means roof, agua, water, and what else? So if y'all are good with this, we'll start this third verse. En tu casa tienes todo, techo y agua. Right, the city theme can also be manufacturing and transportation. Yeah, yeah. En tu casa tienes todo.
Can you explain those first two lines you created? What does that say in English?
in English, that means en tu casa tienes todo, and in your house, you have everything. Okay. I just added a new word based on the chat. Transporte, techo, agua. Transporte is transportation. Techo is a roof, literally. Water is agua. And I want to think of one more word, one more thing that people have that they think like, oh, this is basic, everybody has it, but it's not. Does that make sense? So, en tu casa tienes todo, transporte, techo, y... or...
Education, access, accessibility,
yeah.
In general.
Lights, heat.
Yeah. Luz. How about we keep transporte and maybe move it somewhere else?
Maybe
go ahead.
Maybe freedom. We also need that.
Freedom. Yeah. We'll be hopefully talking about freedom at the end of the next chorus. So let's see. Transporte and libertad are going to be words that we will use eventually. So, en tu casa tienes todo, techo. En tu casa tienes todo, luz, techo, agua y... luz, techo, libertad, agua, transporte,
food,
luz. Yeah, we haven't talked about food. En tu casa tienes todo. Luz, comida, techo, agua y luz. How do we make this rhyme? Comida. So that second line is now reading food. The first line reads, in your house, you have everything. And then, so we're listing what we have, right? So we have food, we have a roof, water, and light. En tu casa tienes todo, comida, techo. Oh, it's too many words. How about, since we're already talking about a home, we could take out roof here, right? En tu casa tienes todo. Tenemos En tu casa tienes todo, comida, agua y luz. How do you all feel about that? Liberty. What do you want to be free to do? Leslie said free, right? To be free. Why do you want to be free? Am I stuck? I've lost connection.
To be safe.
We hear you.
To be. En tu casa tienes todo, comida, agua y luz. The liberty. to be Let's see. How do we end that line? En tu casa tienes todo, comida, agua y luz, the liberty to be safe. The liberty to be safe, and what else?
What rhymes with lose? Lose, azul. I don't know what rhymes with loose other than azul.
Let's see. En tu casa tienes todo, comida, agua y luz, the liberty to be safe. Yeah, something that rhymes with loose.
And freedom from late dues.
Right, dues.
From unjust dues?
I said late dues, but okay.
Late dues? Is that what you said?
Sunny?
Yeah, I say put unjust dues. There's another suggestion in the chat.
We're gonna get sued by Zoom.
Zoom.
En tu casa tienes todo, comida, agua y luz, the liberty to be safe, and free from us unjust dues. How about that?
That's not that.
Yeah.
En tu casa tienes todo, comida, agua y luz, the liberty to be safe, free from unjust dues. I think we got one more verse in us. So here we're talking about the struggle, right? We're talking about how in their house they have food, water, and light. That's a struggle we don't have. The liberty to be safe, we don't have that. And free from unjust dues, we don't have that. So awesome. We talked about the struggle. Good job. All right, let's go. One more verse. And then I'm going to do this. And then we said this guy and this guy. And then this guy and this guy. Okay. We would like to talk about, I think, we did this, who we are, we got that. We got a check mark, look at the V. Yeah. We got that. What we're going through, what we need, yeah, because we already talked about what they have and what we don't have. What we have to share with the community. Awesome. Let's incorporate this with this. Okay. So I think with these 3 lines, what we have to share with our community to create a positive solution, what it is we need to do, aka moral of the story, further steps, goodbye. I think this 4th verse can definitely incorporate these ideas, these thoughts, right? So delete this. Okay. Copy. And paste over here. Paste. Yeah. All right. So we've created this song, this piece of, words collectively, where we all have talked about our ideas, our needs, and now it's our chance to talk about how we're going to get over this, how we're going to use what we have, whether it be physical, whether it be, action, your words, your, calls, whatever we can do to create a positive solution. Okay. And then how to kind of keep the morale up, to keep going. Okay. So anybody want to start? Do we start in English? Do we start in Spanish? So we ended that last verse. In your house, you have it all: food, water, light, freedom, liberty to be safe, and free from unjust dues, right? So how about like something like, now it's our time to work together. It's time to, to make our voice heard, literally,
Maybe
it's time
to rise.
It's time to what?
To rise. Maybe that. I don't know.
Yeah. And how do we do that?
I don't know.
Building unity and solidarity.
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I joined very late, but I'm here.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Alma, welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Actually, I
So
caught I caught the first part of the show, and then I left, and now I'm back. So I didn't realize it was going to be 2 hours, but this is really great. That's why I came back on.
Thank you so much for coming back. And we've got some work done. We got a little chorus to our song. We're just trying to figure out, like, we're going to close out our little cumbia. And so we're talking about, like creating a solution in a way that the community can all help each other. So it was just suggested, amazingly, the time to rise is now. And then we have words: unity, solidarity. And then how do we do this? Let me see, what are we coming from? En tu casa tienes todo: comida, agua y luz. The liberty to be safe, free from unjust dues. And then we have, the time to rise is now. The time to rise is now. How about we can do it if we're together? Anybody like that? Or we can do it only together. We can do it. What do you all suggest on that? The time to rise is now. We can do it if we're together. The time to rise is now. We can do it all together.
Maybe something along the lines of they can't stop us, no way, no how, just so it can rhyme with now. And that can be a line after the second, that can be the third line, or that can be the second line, whatever works.
Okay. Can you repeat the line itself?
They can't stop us, no way, no how.
Mhm. They can't stop us now. We know how together we build unity and solidarity.
Mm-hmm. How about if we, since the time to rise is now, we can do it if we're together. Through unity, through unity.
Yes,
Let's see. The time to rise is now. We can do it if we're together. Through unity.
solidarity. I know about notes.
There, shut up. The time to rise is now. We can do it if we're together. Unity and solidarity can't stop us now. No way, no how. And then from there we go to our chorus. I don't know, but I think I like it.
I think so.
Yes.
And then this is C, and then we're gonna do this here, and we're gonna do V, yeah. And then for this chorus, we're gonna edit it. And then I'm just adding chords. And then we should resolve. Awesome. Okay, so again, I'm pleading to see if anybody is tech savvy who can help kind of arrange this.
Cesar
Like, is it a
already
V?
has.
Mom didn't want to graduate.
Cesar has arranged it, and he said if I share my screen, then I can help show it side by side.
Yeah, can you do that?
Yeah.
Thank you. That way we can play the song all the way through.
Okay. I'll stop sharing yours, and now I'll share mine. I thought it was side by side.
You know what? Even if you just scroll.
Okay, just scroll. And that's he did say that. Just scroll. I can just scroll up and down. Okay.
Yeah, and it's updated, right? All the way to the end?
He's been doing it the whole time. Yep. Finished. Let me make sure. Look at that. The notes.
Hasta color coding. That's amazing.
Cesar, I did not know you were a singer-songwriter. Learn something new. All righty.
Awesome. Okay, so it might be a little choppy. This is going to be our first run through. I'm extending the invitation. I just tried to do it, but then my head gets cut off. For you to stand up and try to sing along and to kind of move those hips. We've been sitting for the past 2 hours, so I'm sure we definitely need a little stretch and just, let the music take over and do its job. But also invite any other instrumentalists. If somebody has a guitar, a ukulele, jarana, a bass, and even a melody instrument, just to play around and noodle around and fill up the song. If we were in real life and in person, I'm sure it would sound amazing. So I'm kind of sad that we're not, but I'm so proud of y'all and the work that we've done so far. Okay, so let's try this. So we got our cumbia. Ready? We're the hope of our people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another, together in this struggle. La comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs, and the serenity to live in peace. If precious what it takes, we're ready. Learn from our mistakes, we're ready. We're ready to fight for you and me. Community control, we're ready. Time to rebuild, we're ready. We're ready, ready to be free. En tu casa tienes todo, comida, agua y luz. The liberty to be safe, free from unjust rule. The time to rise is now. We can do it if we're together. Through unity and solidarity, can't stop us. No way, no how. If that's what it takes, we're ready. Take from our mistakes, we're ready. We're ready to fight for you and me. Community control, we're ready. It's time to rebuild, we're ready. We're ready. Ready to be free.
That's awesome, you guys. Oh my goodness.
Hey,
We're here from the beginning.
We did it. I should have tuned my guitar, but I think we will play it again right now in a couple minutes. But I just kind of want to open up the space and for everybody to kind of talk about the process. I'm sorry if I missed anybody's specific words, specific ideas. This collaborative exercise activity is definitely, it's hard, it's hard to really make sure that everybody is heard and everybody is seen in one way or another, So I hope that everybody does feel like your participation was definitely, productive for yourself. I definitely, everybody single eyes who was there, all your vibes, all your words, the energy, we've spent 2 hours creating this piece that, hopefully it can live on, and you guys did that. So it's amazing. Can anybody talk about the process in itself or how you feel coming out of this exercise? And I'm gonna mute while I tune.
The process was good.
It felt kind of like each of us just hearing other people, like even some people like Chris chimed in. It's like some people were able to say your own idea better than you even could. That's such a great aspect of collaborative songwriting.
Yeah, I know I wasn't part of it, but I do want to say I was on the live stream on YouTube for about the first 20 minutes. So I heard you guys composing, like maybe the first two verses. And I was yelling in the background words, but I wasn't on Zoom to ask them. So, and then I didn't realize you guys were going to be on for 2 hours. So I decided to get back on the last, 30 minutes. And this is really amazing. You guys did a great job.
Thank you. Again, it's something that sometimes people, we do, we have our jobs. We do clerical work. We do, different types of jobs that maybe we'd never tap into this side of our creativity. And I think the collective aspect of it is just very empowering to see other people who aren't necessarily songwriters, who don't do this for a living, and to see how we all have the ability to create, you know? It's so fun for me. Anybody else want to share?
Man, it was hard.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then we got Grammy-winning Quetzal on the line. I was shy.
You know, this process always reminds me of how important it is for us to be attached to moments like this, and how before internet and television and all this crazy stuff, this is how people used to hang out. They used to hang out learning songs and then creating stuff, and our imaginations were on point. They were provoked in all these ways, and all this stuff that is mass produced and fed to us is just, it takes us away from being able to have opportunities like this. And so and then to have someone like you, Vanessa, who is continually developing this method, and who also is a phenomenal musician, who spends time and understands that, you know, that music is also labor, and if you're gonna be putting the time in, that you're gonna take it seriously. And it's not just about performing live and collecting your gig money, but it's about learning different ways of landing in community with your skill set. And so thank you so much.
Yeah, it's thank you, Quetzal. I'm grateful that you, Marta, Gabriel, have all modeled this collective songwriting so beautifully. Like I said in the beginning, I've been able to do this with youth from our neighborhood, with outside the country or outside the state, but also into the prison facilities where, you know, these guys don't want to open up. But by the end of the session, they're all talking with each other. They're all communicating in a different way. It's like there are so many barriers that are broken down when you allow yourself to become vulnerable and to share ideas and to share words. Even, you know, some people are like, this might sound weird, but good, sound weird, you know, because you never know who else has that same thought and has always been afraid of expressing that, you know. So I thank you all so much for your participation in creating this work. So let's play it one more time. Is that cool? Yeah.
If you all click the link in the chat, you can see the song from your computer. Do you want to do that, or do you want me to put it back up on the screen?
Possibly both.
Both? Okay.
Yeah.
Give me 1 sec.
That way I can follow and play. All right.
You want that one?
Yeah. Perfect. If you're ready to dance, I'm ready to go. All right, you ready, Ebony?
I'm ready.
Awesome. So in a real world, in an ideal world, this is the real world. In an ideal world, we'd have some kind of melodic instrument playing a nice catchy beat, a nice catchy melody here in the beginning, okay? But for now, we're gonna vamp. We're just gonna stay on the same chord and get into the groove, okay? We're the hope of all people, la esperanza del pueblo, caring for one another, together in this struggle. La comunidad merece albergue, comida, clean air to fill our lungs, and the serenity to live in peace. If pressure's what it takes, we're ready. Let's learn from our mistakes, we're ready. We're ready to fight for you and me. Community control, we're ready. Time to rebuild, we're ready. We're ready, ready to be free. And then here we'd have another musical break. Okay, ready? En tu casa tienes todo, comida, agua y luz, the liberty to be safe, free from unjust dues. The time to rise is now. We can do it if we're together. Through unity and solidarity, can't stop us now. No way, no how. It's precious what it takes, we're ready. To turn from our mistakes, we're ready. We're ready to fight for you and me. Community control, we're ready. It's time to rebuild, we're ready. We're ready, ready to be free. Something like that.
All right.
Woo.
There was just the one
We
thing.
did it.
The verse from verse number 4, you say can't stop us now. So now you need to add that word now. No way, no how. Yeah, it says can't stop us, no. So here, oh, I can't do it. Yeah, this one.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, sorry if I threw that in, but I just felt it.
Stop us now, no way. 'Cause you did say can't stop us now. No way, no how. I'm not that musically talented.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Cool.
Yay, that was cool.
Again, thank you all. Cancel Rent Festival. Let's keep it going. Keep
Cancel Rent.
the animal.
You know, even if we don't get that Grammy, this might become the movement song. I'm just saying.
I was singing it right now, right? This last time, and I just like, I don't want to say I got emotional, but like, there's this special folk song, right, that everybody sings, and it's related or associated with the United Farm Workers Movement. So does anybody know what that song is by any chance?
De colores.
De Colores. Yes, I totally felt De Colores. Like, I've been playing that song since I was like 13. I'm 20 years older than that, and I've been playing it all these 20 years. And from, I don't even know when it was written, but it was not written 13 years ago, you know? So to see, or 20 years ago. So music is just so powerful, you guys. A good song will live on. And if it's a good song that has a message that everybody relates to, even more so. So I got that feel. What do you call it? The feels.
I'm excited to do this again. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
All right,
Thank you,
Sunday,
guys. Thank
we're
you.
looking for you to bring it on to the HFA. Yes.
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, that's wonderful.
This is beautiful. Thank you so much. Quetzal, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cancel Rent.
Right. And for the folks who are watching on and who will eventually watch this as well on YouTube, you can join us for another songwriting session. Just stay connected, subscribe to the Right to the City Alliance YouTube page, and go to cancelrent.us to sign on to the demands, and just stay connected with us.
Yes.
You got it.
That's all right.
Thanks, Cesar.
We got
Thanks.
a Grammy.
But not if I have to pay for it, okay?
No, not worth it.
No, thank you. No.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Good to see you.
Bye, girls. So
Bye,
glad
friends.
you
Bye.
got on.
Bye.
Yeah, Leslie and Victoria. The golden team right there.
Vanessa,
We'll
did you
be
get it?
back on this. Oh, look at that. Yeah.
What
this
happened?
Did you get it in the mail yet?
Which mail?
Did you get this in the mail?
Oh, I can't see.
Uh,
Oh man.
it's Jose Luis Orozco's new album. Anyways,
What?
that you're all
Yes,
over.
I want it.
You're all over. Okay, I got your copy.
Thank you,
Well,
friend.
in fact, we'll be back on this channel on April 4th with Jose Luis Orozco,
That's
right?
right. That's
Oh
right.
my God.
2 p.m. Pacific time,
Yeah.
playing live a concert for children. And tomorrow we have La Marisol at 6 p.m.
Yay.
Pacific time, playing live on the same YouTube channel. Sunny, can you tell us that YouTube channel?
Already. Yeah.
I
me?
think Sunny left. And what is it? Bitly? No.
It's bit.ly, bit.ly/cancel rent fest.
Yes. Awesome. We'll definitely
But
try
you
to
can
meet
also find
tomorrow.
it.
Thanks, Ebony. Thank you, everybody.
Sure.
Have a good night.
Thank you all for your
Thank
participation.
you.
Thank you.
Felicidades.
Bye.
Good to see you, girls.
We did it.
Ashley.
You did it.